What's going on YouTube? I got the car washed up and I figured, well, I haven't took a video in a while of the car other than some interior point of view shots and stuff, but since the last video I really haven't updated too much on the car itself, but I figured I done enough to justify this video, and plus it looks really good right now. I have that Meguiar ceramic wax on it. That's probably my favorite so far. I tried the turtle wax seal and shine. It looks pretty good, but it doesn't last as long, and dust is like really attracted to it. Like you can physically feel like the slickness of the Meguiars versus the turtle wax. But anyway, let me jump right into this. First thing you'll probably notice are these floor mats, which are Cooper tire floor mats I got off Amazon for $30. I didn't even trim them. They just flopped right in place. And I've had all this stuff on there. Oh yeah, here's my dash cover with the carpet pad off of it. As you can see, it's still holding up pretty good. Oh yeah, I always thought this car had a Hurst Shifter in it. That turned out to not be true, because when I was replacing the shifter bushings, I noticed that the whole assembly was completely stock, and I wanted a short throw shifter. I already got this popped off here. These just snap right up. So I went with a Mad Dog 50% reduction. You can see it here. It's got the rod brakes and stuff in it. You can adjust these little Allen head bolts right there. There's actually like a metal plate that slides up against the shifter rod itself. You have one up there. You can see the plate right here. You can adjust this, and what it does is when like you're racing and you shift really hard, it's to prevent like your shifter cables from stretching or snapping, and it gives it that nice click whenever the rod hits, the shifter rod hits the rod brakes. I need to adjust mine a little bit more, because mine, you have to really throw it to get it to hit. You want it to kind of just normally shifting where it will hit the rod brakes. That's when you have it adjusted. So I recommend just taking this off and adjusting it while you drive the car, and then you can get the perfect like adjustment that you want. But yeah, it's all you do. I can't remember the exact size, but see, there's the bottom rod brake right there. You just slide it up or back. So if you adjust it too far against the rod brake, you won't even get the car in gear. So I mean, there's a sweet spot for it. And speaking of sweet spots and, you know, better than OEM quality equipment, if I can get down here and show you guys, I have a DCR. You can kind of see it's dark. It's the DCR Billet clutch pivot rod. That thing was a bitch to install, but it's actually really nice. Once you get it in, hopefully you'll never have to replace it again. That's their claim anyway. And tucked away in here, I have if I can dig it up, I have a watt box. Where are you hiding? Well, there is a watt box in here. There it is. I found it. Couldn't hide forever. But I'm having issues with it. My no lift shift is working perfectly. My two-step is not. And I hate revving my car up. And yes, I'm doing it right. Clutch down. And you're supposed to go wide open throttle underneath like 1500 RPMs, and that's what engages the two-step. Does not work. No lift works great, but my two-step isn't working, so I'm gonna have to try to get another box, because I've tried going through the troubleshooting with Into MB, and they're confused. I have a plug-and-play harness. I mean, as you can see from Kinetic Creations, it's a really good harness. Everything's hooked up right, and they have their own troubleshooting like steps you can go through. It's a little guide, And this watt box passes every step except for the 2-step, you know, which happens to be the very last step in the troubleshooting process. So, can't figure it out. But anyway, that's one new addition to the car. Let's get the hood popped open here. Nothing's really changed under here except I started my car one day and it was dead as a doornail. Turned out the battery died, so I went to Walmart, and I mean, honestly, all I had on me is just a little bit of money, so I got the cheapest damn battery I could get. It works, but that is new. I got a catch can on the ventilated side of the PCV system. I'm going to talk about the plastic tubing from Home Depot here. But anyway, I got that on there. It's really not necessary. All this does, it's like a vent. So whenever the pressure builds up here, it can vent out. Most people hook it up to the your intake, which you can, but there's blow-by that can get in here, and it sends oil to your compressor, and everyone knows oil cannot compress. And guess what? Big old turbo is a compressor. So this is just, I mean, it's vented. It catches what little, I mean very little oil blow by that goes through. Now the main one you really want is the catch can coming from the PCV valve itself, which this valve is actually completely gutted. I took the innards out, and right now I replaced all that with this check valve. Works a lot better in my opinion, and of course I do collect quite a bit of oil that goes through here, and this can will catch it. So, and that keeps oil from going into your turbo. This one keeps oil from getting into your intercooler, which again, you will get lots of it. I need to do some wire management here, because this is part of the watt box plug and play harness right here, and all these vacuum lines. I mean, I could really spruce it up, but you know, oh well. This car has a police siren for some reason, and I just put the stupid hella horn, and I didn't want it to rub up against my AC lines, so it's just a really gnarly looking setup over there. Oh, I got new eyelids. These are vinyl eyelids. My SDK fiberglass ones flew the hell off. And it wasn't like I was doing 200 miles per hour either. It was, I think I was rolling maybe 60. And I seen it fly off. And I was going down my buddy's road, actually. There's a bunch of farmland. And it flew in like this big hayfield. The grass is growing up. Couldn't find it. So I went with these $10 eyelids. And they actually look better. I mean, the way they're cut out, they fit. They match like my fender lines perfectly. You remember how I was complaining about the fiberglass ones not matching up? Well, these do. So, I mean, they're harder to install, but honestly, I just used dish soap and water, sprayed it on there, and you spray it on the headlight, spray it on the underneath of the eyelid too, like the adhesive side, and it just slaps right on, and you just squeegee the excess water out. And I mean, look, it's like my first time doing it, and there's no bubbles in there. If I can do it, anyone can do it, honestly. Just gotta be patient with it, and I'm like the least patient person in the world, so, and I managed to get it on there. But let me shut this hood. Yeah, everything's still basically stock, other than the tune and botons and whatnot. Oh, and I guess you guys know we replaced the power steering pump, but I have a separate video for that. Fall is in the air. Look at this. It's still 90 degrees out here. This car really shines up. I'm telling you guys, that Meguiar's is some good stuff. 13 bucks at Walmart. Oh yeah, my car was actually rear-ended. I was at a red light. It's still in drive. Parked, well, stopped at a red light, uphill. And this woman in a 4Runner creeps up behind me. And I noticed she keeps creeping slowly and slowly closer and closer to the back of my car. So I start closing the gap between me and the car in front of me to the point I couldn't anymore. She keeps rolling up. Well, I stuck my hand out like, whoa, what are you doing? She keeps going, and my whole car starts shaking where she hits me. I mean, I jump out of the car, I'm pissed because she was doped up on something, some crack whore. And we walk over there, and I noticed that when she hit me, her forerunner actually nicked this little spot right here. And I've put some touch-up paint on it right now. I mean, it looks like absolute shit, but I'm surprised that's all it done. And luckily, whatever like the highest point of her bumper was just enough to like nick this and go underneath this license plate cutout. So again, that was never there to begin with, and I know it could be worse, but hell far, you know, it could have been completely avoided. So yeah, that's a new add-on to the old car there. Fucking chipping the paint, which I mean, this is a old car anyway. It's had its own share of imperfections like this right here, but I mean, come on people, learn to fucking drive. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I figured I'd update you guys on that and show you the Mad Dog shifter, and I might make a separate video on how to adjust it because I need to adjust it myself and get it perfect. And there's a lot of noise. Now there's a train actually over here, and a CenturyLink guy just pulled in. He's staring at me like I'm crazy. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all.